let's just hope they put Aussie Nats back after they've taken it out.
Alright, so Dogma's pulling from the right hand side of the screen. We've got Eric pulling. On the line we've got Dave, Justin, Tom Fraser, Kalani, Eric, Richard, which is also Nando, and James, one of the fresh imports.
Haberfield to Neil. Neil throws it early to Troy Stevenson. He's got two covering. That was far too accurate. We didn't even have to worry about Troy Stevenson's height in that. That was just good ultimate. Great connection. Lachlan, number 41. I think he was on the field. He signals goal. It's a goal.
Whenever Lucky feels like putting his hands up, he reckons he just does it.
33, got it. That was Aaron Neal, 55 with the assist.
33 to 55, that's stat there.
He's only lost 2 games of Frisbee since September.
A little bit of running commentary from the sledging box early on some of the Wildcats players. Let's hope we have a good game from them. I really want to see some nice strong connections deep from the big dogs. Those big dogs self-titled, I might add, being Troy Stevenson, Liam Haberfield, Matt Richardson, and that's it.
So at the moment we've only got 2 big dogs on the field. Just got Troy Stevenson and Liam Haberfield. Aaron going to put up the pole. And we've got an old boy, Mike Connolly, on there as well.
Yeah, I'm actually expecting a big game from everyone else. The fast people. Lee Yo getting down there, really wanting to get some D. Oh, and Rice, otherwise known as Carl Ho, getting down there. It's a beautiful pull. That was at least 5.5 seconds of float. Speedster's really putting on the pressure early on that defence. Oh, generates the turn. He's hit his head.
He's hit his head. There's been an injury. Hopefully he'll be all right. Be able to get up from that.
It's a bit of a bounce, actually. That was a good bounce.
You could hear the thud from here.
The man slowly getting up, holding his nose. He might have just knocked his nose on the ground. That's Declan Grogan, otherwise known as Gorgon. Gorgon Mahorgan. He's okay.
So you've got, looks like Sam maybe came on for Declan, not too sure yet.
The line arts? Sam the line arts.
The line arts.
Yeah.
No artist.
No subbing replacement for the Wildcats. They all want their game time. Stevenson to check it in. Looking Calho's free early, but looked off for Mike Connolly with his trademark fake. Oh, totally bought there by Fernando. That was so quick. To Palmer. To who is that guy? I don't think I've seen him on the field very much or at all in recent years.
So the call looks like it was made not in. Sorry, no, they changed mind, retracted. It's been called in.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but this the new kid, 55, Aaron Neil. Sorry, I stand corrected. Aaron Neil. I think he scored that point there. Very quick backhand from Palmer. He's a new kid. Very early on, Gary Jarvis, one of the tacticians of the Wildcats club, he's getting on there, having a few choice words to the defence. I think he wasn't happy with what they did earlier on. Okay, thank you. What was this for? Okay, we've just had word that in the 3-4 playoff, the second Wildcats team has third place at New Zealand Nationals 2017. A very close bid game against Auckland Groot. who were unlucky to take that. There were lots of hiking options, but at the end of the day, you can't teach height.
So we've just got an addition into the sledging box. Hamish Gibson, who was in that game. He's got a few words he might want to say about that game.
Pleasure to have you there, Hamish.
Not really, but it was a very well fought game. There was some beautiful plays made.
Pull
by the
there
younger
from
players.
Lachlan Robertson.
The older players got injured, and the young
Hanging
players
off
stepped up
on
and
the side.
made the game.
Beautiful placement there. It was held nicely in the sun, so Eric Richardson had a little bit of trouble spotting it, but once it dropped out of the sun, he was able to pull that down. Linnart's midfield having to reset to Joe. Rennick and Flounder. Oh, did I pronounce that correctly? I think I might have mispronounced his name. Rennick, it's Renachet or Rennick. I'll have to check with my statisticians on that one. Oh. 2 reset cuts there. Hopefully there's a little bit more communication between the handler set next time they're under pressure. Defense is holding, a little bit of trailing happening from the downfield. Matt's holding the deep. Matt Richardson has come off his player. He's holding midfield. Flounder's holding the disc. Okay, on the downfielders, Wildcats are holding space more than trying to stay in front of their player. They're giving them the downfield options quite safely, but the people on the handler set, the defense that are on the handlers, are actually putting quite a strong straight up mark on. So they're having to throw a lot wider than they've been training by the looks of things. In the earlier semi-final between Dogma and the other Wildcats team, where Dogma were victorious on that one, they had a lot of problems late in the game with the straight-up mark. They weren't used to having to throw wide and around. They were used to throwing more up and down the field, and it looks like early on, Dogma aren't really capitalising on the amount of space that they've been given across the field. Great grab there from Linnartz. Under pressure from Hamish Thornton. Richardson. Matt Dole on Richardson. Beautiful option upfield to the open side on Joe Penny. Hopefully they can bounce it to the high side again. Cheeky pass there from Joe Penaya to Oliver. Let me pronounce that correctly. Oliver Foster for the score. Scores at 2-2. Dogma sideline are looking really strong right now, sucking down their energy juices, looking quite contemplative. Wildcats, on the other hand, are looking quite jovial and conversational. Luke Humphreys having a chat, Sam Masters having a chat. Little bit of bants going from Story and Rice, otherwise known as Carl Ho. Pullers up. Dogma defense not chasing down quite as intensely as the Wildcats. That might actually play into how we'll see the game develop later on.
So you got Bogus, aka Met Service here.
Beautiful little flick there from Haberfield, crossfield to Palmer. If I pronounced that correctly.
Palmer goes off to Lockie. Lockie with a leading pass to Aaron.
Andy Neal, arguably the best player in New Zealand Ultimate. And that's a score, easy, to Sleeves, otherwise known as Liam Haberfield. The wonder kid. He's been playing since he was 13. He's been 6'1" since he was 14 and a half. Geez, he's chiseled these days.
Calf commentary.
It's the socks that really do it. Look at him, he's got bright green. Sorry.
Look at him over there, Liam Haberfield. He's a beast of a man.
Looking at the lineup, the defensive lineup now for the Wildcats, we have a Gigantosaur, Jumpasaur, Huckasaur, Jinkosaurus Rex, run around a lot. Lee's always on the mark, and some new kid, I don't know who he is. And I think
Aaron.
I'm going to have to get that right. Aaron. Now. I know. Isn't he married to Sally Neal? She's a great player, isn't she? She's amazing.
Quality carbs too.
Yeah, she's in the final later on. I'm looking forward to seeing how she plays. Pool goes up. Looks like a set. No, that's just a horrors. It is a set play. It looks like a split stack early. Because, yep. Gossam is off. Deep, number 23. Beautiful orange, yellow shoes.
Toby there, just caught it on the sideline.
He doesn't come under, though, quite as strongly. He did not fake out a very astute Lee Yo, who's covered him.
So
He was
Joe and
supposed to
Toby just going back and forth there within themselves.
Again, the downfielders are not getting as open as they're hoping. The handlers are really having to live with it. They're not working it as much as we're hoping. Eric Richardson receiving a very jammy jam backhand from Sutherland. He's really shown a lot of promise this season with his handling. Toby Sutherland. Great pressure there from the downfield defense of the Wildcats.
So we got Sam Lenartz has come back down to the handlers from the downfield.
Oh, that's a feathery flick.
Oh,
Gossam
good pick up.
doesn't feel that that catch was spectacular enough, so he dinks it to himself.
Big hand block
huge.
by Mike Connolly. Huge hand block.
If he was actually on his player, that would have been a safe throw. Instead, that's a massive D. Good block. Gets in the play early. Nice little reset. Bogus living with it centre field, looking at his options. No stress. Connolly, trademark jinky backhand. That's wonderful. Dan Aldridge. Oh, with the spike.
That's a big spike.
He might have just been putting the disc back in centre field.
Second break. So that's the second break of the game.
You can't
No,
pay
you
him
can
out.
double down though.
You
Going
can, okay,
individual
you
game,
can
not
double down on
tournament.
that same bet.
He's done two this tournament.
Okay. So word on the street is that there have been some people that have thrown some Callahans this tournament. I haven't really seen it. I actually saw that, but I'm not going to name names.
TAB odds.
But TAB odds, if anyone wants to place any bets, please just place your bets in the comments below. Okay, it's an honours system. We will come and claim you. We do know where you live. All right, say hi to your mum for me, by the way. She's a lovely lady.
So we've got Matt Grace, Phil Rennick, Dave Sanders, Richard Fernando, Toby Sutherland, who's paying $1.25 for the Callahan. Oh, my bad, the camera's facing the other way. That was
Lachlan
a Dogma
Robinson up
line.
with a beautiful pull. He's been developing that with his U23 coach back in the day, who quite literally stole a whole bunch of technique from the legendary Gary Jarvis. He realised that no one was actually listening to how he pulls it, so he decided to take that information, pass it on to the youngins, and now they actually pull like champions.
The AUDL hang time record.
It's a T-Fray with the
Beautiful
huck.
flick on the break side. Oh,
Oh,
my!
lovely.
Tom Fraser with an amazing play there to an extremely open Richard Fernando.
So Tom Fraser is the captain of the mixed world beach team that's going over to France. I think it's June, July this year. Alright, so we got some TAB odds here. So $1.10 for Wildcats scoring the next point.
Please place your bids in the comments below.
Those calves, calf commentary.
So we got Dogma paying $4.80 to score the next point as well, even though...
You take the $5 turn? Please place bids in the comments below.
All right, a little bit of bants in the sledging box. I'd just like to remind the fellow commentators that we're all professional here, so let's just move on. Cameras looking on Dogma, who are currently on offense.
So we've got Flounder pulling it. Be interesting to see how he goes with this, as he's not the person that would normally pull on that line. It would either be T. Frey or Nando. So it's going to be interesting to see how this comes off. Could come off well.
Get down there!
That's all right. Yep. Let's stay in
First
field.
pass.
That's good.
Undefended. Liam has identified the deep shot.
T. Frey got a
Mistimed
big
his
piece on the
backhand.
disc.
That was great defense there.
Leave the bets in the comments below.
Yeah.
Now we've got $5.
$5.
We got the turn.
We got the turn.
So all payouts need to be directed to Goose.
Number 8, back to Flounder. Again, the downfield cutters are not getting open. The Wildcats are really covering those, I'd say 60% speed cuts from the horizontal cutters. Handlers are really having to live with it. That's
Dave
floating
Sanders.
a bit. Ooh, folks had an opportunity there. Easy out now. Somebody's fallen off.
So
Ollie's
Ollie
free.
Foster, one of the newer players in the Dogma team, is doing quite well. Big hammer from T. Frey to the
T-Frey!
big man in the end
For
zone.
2!
He brings it down. That's paying out $4.80.
Justin Lee with the score. That was amazing. I like his number 2, 99.
So Justin's one of the new players, been playing for 2 years.
Commentary box has
he's
lost
come
quite
from
a bit of
the
money on that little
Malaysian contingent.
play just there, and I'll just have to hand you over. We're going to have Andy Oliver and Richard Carr for a moment.
Richard Carr here, taking over for Mark. Scores a 4-4. It's come out as a pretty balanced game. It's a great block.
So the
Great
wind's coming.
block from Christchurch to settle it up at 4-all.
So the wind's swirling a bit now. It's coming crossfield, so it's coming from the top of your screen down to the bottom of the screen.
Private. So I'd like to introduce everyone to the concept of the calf commentary. Throughout the rest of the game, we shall be putting special attention on particular players, and particularly their calves. These players do a lot of hard work out there, and they deserve to be recognised for their efforts.
So a big shout out to Eric's booty there. He's makes him run a little bit funny, but it's a big ass.
Eric Richards with the disc, looking to pull, and it's gone up. It's a quick short pull, lands inbounds on the line.
So bogus to Liam Hubberfield. Whoa, that was from the sideline. It possibly looked like it was up.
Call's been resolved. It's an up call and a continuation. Ryan Sheridan through to Aaron Neal. Aaron looks up. He's looking to reset though.
Hey, Aaron. Whoa, get out of jail free card by Matt Dell. Laser from Liam Hubberfield.
And Liam Haberfield has another throwaway. Can't quite find the volume he's required in this.
But he makes up with it, those beautiful calves of his.
The Wildcats gaining territory on that throw, not necessarily the point though.
So what are the odds there, Mr. Tabby Man?
It's 350 on Dogma.
So it's 350 on Dogma scoring this point,
$1.61.
and $1.60 for the Wildcats.
Eric Richards
scoring this
picks
point.
up the frisbee. Looking to get it off the line. Finds Dave Sanders. Dave Sanders with the disc, looking to centre it. Richard Nando pushing the line. Centres back to David Sanders. David Sanders to Phil Renich. Huge bid from 55.
Aaron.
But Tom retains, passes it off to Eric. Eric controlling the flow of the game at this moment. It's gone up. Float. Matt Dole brings it down.
So there's no contest.
Wildcats got the D. Dishes off to Angus Hines. Angus Hines to Liam Haberfield. Centres again to Matt. Huge block from Phil. Huge block. Dogma with the disc. Tom Fraser picks up, throws the hammer.
Oh, big
Phil
layup by
Rennick
Aaron.
with the point.
So that's another break there for Dogma.
Scores stand at 5-4 to Dogma after that break. Special shout out to number 55, Aaron, for that bid. Great attempt, great calves, really pushing him up through there.
Sorry, ladies, he's just been married to Sally Neal now.
Could get shifty.
How does that feel, Phil?
More like how close is it to a full handy rather than just the top of the finger?
Joe Panaya with the disc for Dogma as they look to pull. Wildcats are ready and disc is going up. It's a good pull. Reasonable. The chase is a bit slow. Liam Haberfield with the disc in the centre.
So Liam's looking for
Looking
the long
for space,
shot.
but there's jinky cuts. Lachlan Robertson with the disc on the line. He wants to centre it. 33, Andy Neal with the disc back to Lachlan. Some strong cuts from downfield. Two of the biggest receivers in New Zealand Ultimate, Troy Stevenson and Matt Richardson, working hard. Troy Stevenson with the disc on the line, looking up. Great connection through to Angus Hines, who then flicks it off to Liam Haberfield for the point.
So now it is 5-all.
Back in the commentary box, we've got Mark returning after his small tirade with the crowd. How's the sentiment in the crowd, Mark?
Oh, thanks, Rich. It's wholly positive, to be honest. There's some really festive feel going on. Lots of smiles.
So Dave Sanders, have you got a few words? Dave? No, he's too focused on the game. It's good to see.
Let's be honest, those last 2 points were very intense. I would not be talking to them.
Oh, the old man can't breathe. He's just told us. He's fine now. Okay, here we go. Just needed a few words. There you go. A few words, Dave. Still
No.
can't breathe.
No. Those are some good, insightful words. Looks like a timeout, but I think it's just a little powwow in the Dogma camp. Wildcats are adjusting.
No, we're not doing head-to-head. No head-to-head, just point to point.
I think the last sequence of play was far too intense. Both teams just quietly had an extended gap between points just to catch their breath, to keep the intensity levels high. Aaron Neal to pull. Straight to Joe, to Toby Sutherland. Zone is on. It's a one. No, it's a modified cup. Looks more like a wedge, so there's one person on disc. And the other two are getting in the lanes.
So we've got a bit of a junky zone by the looks of it going on here.
Yeah, it's force middle on the handlers.
Got Aaron hanging out in the deep, Liam Haverfield, Mike Connolly, and Ryan Sheridan in the middle.
Man behind it, it's worked. It's got the turnover early.
Liam Haverfield with the disc.
Oh, Sam Lennox!
With the
bid!
big layout D by Sam Lenartz.
Full miss on that. Palmer just couldn't get there in time. He could not palm it in time. That's quite a good play on words, guys. Handler set, just living with it now, but they're not trying to extend those stall counts. They're just a couple of seconds each, have a look downfield, and then they reset. That's good. Good option taking there from the handlers. Let's hope it continues. Oh, they're under pressure now. Joe lived with it for too long because Grogan went and left him behind. Generates a turnover straight on to young Ryan Sheridan's head.
Yeah. Ryan Sheridan with the big
timeout
heads up play
called.
there.
Wildcats are tired. Wildcats need a breather.
Second shout out for calves at Liam. I've already started the calf commentary.
Okay.
Aaron got his first shout out, so now Liam's.
No, it's going to be Andy.
It doesn't really matter.
Andy's got the calves that climb. It looks like he steps on people, but it's like it's on the ear. Yeah. He like.
Can you pick that up?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So, sorry, I didn't actually think that was heard. It seems that the Neal family, as well as Liam Haverfield, have this competition. It's been going for several years now on who's got the most defined calves in a final. Liam got caught out 3 years ago because he actually stenciled in with liner, some extra lines that aren't supposed to be there naturally. And since then, it's been a genuine competition of who's got the most defined calves in a final.
The calf commentary is going to feature quite heavily in this game, I feel.
Hopefully layout bids as well.
Well, it makes the game much more exciting.
Interesting setup with the timeouts. Looks like Dogma in the Credo uniform have an offensive and defensive side, and that they have their separate little huddles each time, whereas the Wildcats just sort of are all in.
So Dogma actually are running, it looks like they've got the on-field group and the off-field group.
The initial intensity of those last passages of play have really taken the toll on both teams already. The sideline looking washed out quite early on. Let's hope they can find some juice, get some excitement, because I don't think I can contain myself if the play continues like this. Checks in, Liam's looking for the backhand option early to Aldridge. Not on, so he passes to Palmer, who palms it off upfield. Good flow onto the open side there. Slowed down slightly by some sagging defense. Travel called on Aaron Neal by Sam Lenartz. It's only a stoppage because the pass was continued on. Had he not released the throw, the play would still be live. Oh, that's floating. Gets around Toby Sutherland as a defender to Ryan Sheridan's capable hands. Haverfield, some good colour combinations on his... Oh! I honestly thought Sutherland had a bid there, but he lagged a little bit. Haverfield slots it in very quickly to a screaming Mike Connolly, who calmly catches it with a foot in.
So the wind's picking up. It's heading... what looks like from the bottom of your screen to the top.
That's an insight there. Glad somebody's paying attention to the weather. It has actually picked up quite substantially, Andy Neal. Andy Oliver. Sorry.
So we're quite sheltered where we're sitting at the moment, but out on the field, the wind's really picking up and it's starting to affect some of the throws. Dave Sanders has come off the field, breathing heavily again.
I'm not saying anything about the quality of play. I'm really excited, but the sideline is looking at their concentration's wavering. Old Bridget over there, who you can't see on the camera, has yawned. I'm not sure if it's because she's overwhelmed or whether she's just not watching the play. I can barely keep on my seat. Time between points is starting to stretch out quite substantially here. There's noticeable drops in amount of game being played. It's clearly obvious that both teams are taking some good hard punches from the opposition, and they're also laying them out, having to recoup, reassess before each point.
So we've got Wildcats now. They're 6-5 up.
Pullers up, wind is behind it, that's going to go out. To the high side of the field, drops in the field of play. Flounder quickly picks it up. Handlers are under pressure early. Let's hope they can actually get some movement and stop trying to connect statically to the downfield receivers.
So just to correct Mark there, it's actually the low side of the field that disc is on at the moment, from where the wind's coming from.
Thank you for that correction, I was getting excited. It is the low side, yeah.
Now it's high side.
Yeah. It was a zinger of a throw there to no one.
So, fun fact about Lockie with the disc here, he's just got back from Nepal and I think he made it up to as far as base camp. He spent a month there and he said he absolutely enjoyed it.
Stevenson looking for the backhand against the flow of the force. Some great jinking there from Wildcats. Oh, that's low. Is he fast enough? Come on, Dolly!
Lay out for that. It was there for the glory layout.
Aaron Neal really put him under pressure.
So we've got the tall timber here. We've got 29 Phil matching up with Troy Stevenson of Wildcats. So Troy Stevenson likes to say he's RuneScape's pro.
I think he gets paid for it. He does run his own server. There we go. RuneScape Maximilian 87.:3 at runescape.com. Under pressure again. Dogma are really having trouble. That's far too high. It's out the field of play. That's some beautiful defense there from Wildcats. Phil Rennick is not happy. I think he's injured himself in that play. Quick assessment. No call made. He's just going to sub in for Rich Fernando. Turn does stand.
So turn stands. Aaron of the disc.
Beautiful touch there to a very open Dan Aldridge. Credo were not ready. Oh, sorry, Dogma and the Credo shirts were not quite ready to put defense on then.
That Dogma Credo thing's been tripping people up all weekend.
Especially the old ones.
Like Dave Sanders. So we've got 7-5 to Wildcats. So these games now have pushed out as the playoffs have come around to 90 minutes. So, Mrs. Rennick, your son is okay.
He's smiling.
So Aaron with the disc for the pull.
For someone who we haven't really seen in New Zealand Ultimate for much at all, he has a lot of time on disc this game. Aaron Neal. Let's hope they can stay behind the line this time. Oh, that's a much better pull.
That's a great pull.
About 4.5 seconds float time for that. Oh, that one is going up.
So you got Matt
Who's
Dalton,
got the read
Sam.
this time? Dolly's got the height, but Sam has the distance.
Sam brings it down. A little
That
kick
was some
spike
great
there.
play there. Declan Grogan, the import from Ireland. His favourite number is 33 and a third. Somebody argued that it was actually 13. He disagreed. 33 and a third it stands.
Oh, so we've got the carve line up here. We've got Liam
In
there.
fact, Liam is adjusting his spandex to push down the actual muscle mass on his calves to really accentuate the lower section. I think Troy's commenting on it.
This is the Wildcats we're
Andy,
talking
he's
about
put his
here.
hand up. He's got calves too.
So Joe there with the disc, ready for the pull.
What are you hoping to see from the Wildcats in the next 2 to 3 points, Andy?
I'd love to see them a little bit more hustle. They're wavering a little bit on defense. They could really get in the game a bit more, like just with a few layouts, and give the crowd a good game.
Looks like a zone option from Dogma. Couple of people on man, but there's obviously some easy poachers. Oh, that's gone deep to a very open Haberfield, who's thrown it to Troy. There might be a call on the play there. Justin and Troy got up. Hands all over the Frisbee. No contest.
Uncontested foul there.
Justin disagreed that Troy... No, he disagreed. Yeah, I know. He disagreed that... I don't really know what I'm going to say now.
Marks is confusing everyone all over the show here.
They disagreed that there was a contest there. Thank you.
The call from the sledging box is that
Stall is
Troy
on
just
7.
dropped it.
Stalling 8. It's got to go up. So Lachlan Robinson floats it out into space.
So that's half time, guys. That's 6-8 to the Wildcats.
That was some exciting first half play, I've got to be honest. Hopefully we can organise a race to the fastest women in New Zealand Ultimate in a couple of minutes for the halftime show.
Come on.
We have Chris Barker organising this. We have a few volunteers from the crowd for the fastest woman in New Zealand Ultimate. All right, so recap of the game so far. Andy, how have you really felt about both teams? Obviously, we both are living in Christchurch, but we both have a lot of friends in the Wildcats. I personally have been a member of the Wildcats for a number of years, so my allegiances are torn. How do you feel about this whole game?
My allegiance is torn as well. I've got some really good mates in both teams and been training with Dogma until my injury a few weeks ago, which that's why I'm not on the field at the moment. But I reckon it's been a good game. The score really reflects what's been happening. I think Dogma have been taking a few risks. Some of them paid off, some of them haven't. Where Wildcats have really been playing a clinical game and have just been converting the sloppy plays by Dogma.
Yeah. It's actually quite interesting. The Wildcats only have one or two new players on their roster from previous years, whereas Dogma have had a complete overhaul.
So
I think the women are ready to. Yeah, I think the women are ready to race. Cameras are on it. We can see there's a lot of Moa players.
There's a lot of young faces on there as well, which is good to see.
Yep, Hamish Gibson in the hoodie.
We've got Rich Carr at the other end of the field.
I've got dibs on. Actually, I've got dibs on someone who's got cleats on, and that's going to be Morgan. Morgan, Jones.
She's got a
quick.
Yeah.
She's also one of the tallest ones there, and she is actually one of only two that have cleats on.
And she's
even though I dare say, either Zoe, a young, I think she might be 19 now.
I think Zoe's 19 now.
Yeah, from Nelson. She's very quick off the mark, but she's in bare feet, so I'm not
we've
quite
got
sure.
Morgan, who's the second from the left.
Oh, they're up.
They're up.
Esther's up early. The
Esther's
unknown.
going.
Oh, we got Janelle. Is that Janelle? Esther's gonna kill it. Esther's it. Oh, that wasn't even a contest. Esther Wei-Lee.
That's a
Leong.
That's a great race.
Killed
from
it
all the
at 40
girls.
metres. Didn't look back. I think she didn't even hit her top speed there. To call that an embarrassment
That would be an understatement there.
Well, it can't be because those women were going fast, but Esther was just in another league of her own.
So Esther can run down even a quick male as well. She's reasonably quick. I think her 100-metre time is somewhere around the 13 seconds at the moment, 13, 14 seconds. She's only just getting back into sprinting after having a break for a couple of years, so she'll be working on it again.
I think she should go play in a national team. Oh, wait, she does.
So Esther's from the Christchurch Chicks.
Great run, ladies. Great run. Hey. Isn't that when you were on a different... Oh.
So fun fact about Esther, she's actually getting back into sprinting as well as hurdles. Even though she's quite short, she can really get those hurdles going. Another shout out to Liam Hubberfield and his beautiful calves there.
Or what's also handy is if you've got a box of beers, put all the beer bottles back in the box. That's quite easy for us to manage. But please don't make mixed boxes of one.
So the camera is, looks like it's on field 2 there. So over there we've got 3rd and 4th playing. It looks like Hamatron versus
Zodiac.
Coached by Ian Stewart. Not too sure of the score there, but it looks like it's be a hard-fought game.
It's gone long. Into the ground. They ran you. We have a one word from current Wildcats player Matt Dole. Matt Dole.
Cheers to the crowd. They've been spectacular.
Good luck, mate. Have a good game.
Very PC response. So we got words from Sam Lenartz for the second half from Dogma here.
We're just coming out in the second half, trying to do what we do, play intense, play with focus on offense, and just take it to them second half. Let's go.
So that was Sam Lenartz there. So Paul's gone up there. Dogma's on defence. Wildcats are on offence. Old arrow Andy Neal there. Sorry, ladies, he's also taken. And he's got a baby Neil on the
Richardson
books now.
swings it to Robertson. Robertson looking for the continuation, holds on to it. Wildcats not really coming out with a set play. They're just sort of reacting, running some cutting patterns. That was a great grab there from Troy Stevenson.
That was a fantastic grab. So RuneScape Lord takes it from a hammer there. Not too sure where
Back
it
in the
came
commentary
from.
box, we have Richard Carr, currently residing in Wellington. Thank you, Richard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the start of the second half with a great hammer from Lachlan Robertson to Troy Stevenson.
So back in the commentary box, we've got Hamish Gibson here.
Hello, hello, hello. So now we're currently looking at Vic Wildcats. You've got Aaron Neal with the disc. Next to him is now is Matt Dole, Troy Stevenson, Andy, Bogus, who's Lee, and Ryan Sheridan. And if you didn't know, Aaron Neal played Next Gen a couple years ago in their last season. He thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a good
With the
time.
score currently at
He now thinks he's still better
6-9,
than him.
Aaron Neal is stepping up to take the pull. It's gone up. Minimal float, but deep into the zone. Joe Panaya with the disc. Centers it. Strong vert stat coming out of Credo. With a drop from Sam Linnett. Aaron, 55. Plays through. Matt Dole with the disc. Huge block.
Huge layout by
Denies
Joe.
the point.
Huge layout.
Great work, 21.
Joe Panaya. The Irishman's walked it back to him. Looking for a swing to Joe Panaya. Who's now struggling to work it out of the zone. Ooh, flicked it off the net.
There was a
Uncontested
throw
foul
from
by
Joe
Matt.
to Richard Fernando with a bit of ankle tapping from Matt Dolan unintentionally, which has resulted in a foul call.
It was so intentional.
Richard Fernando on the line, looking to centre it. Joe Panaya in the centre. To Toby Sutherland. Back to the centre. Joe Panaya is really holding his team together. He looks out, looks downfield.
Over Toby Sutherland.
Toby from
Toby
hammer
Sutherland, who just
position,
skied
long
Troy
deep
Stevenson.
cut. Standing on the line, Sam Linnett. Little bit of a flail. Little bit of a dancing hand, but dishes it off to Toby Sutherland. Holds, floats it, but too far. It's a turnover from Credo. Dogma in the Credo shirts. And Aaron Neal puts it up over the crowd. It's coming back in. It's come back in. Can Troy get it? No, he can't, but he's played the disc in bounds. No, he played the disc with his feet on the ground. He just didn't catch it.
So I think the call's been made that Troy
There's
Stevenson
slight
reached
discussion
from
around
in
whether
and touched
Troy
it. So that then
Stevenson
means
managed
the
to
disc
play the
comes in
disc
down
while in
at
bounds,
Dogman's end zone.
which would result in the disc coming in at the Dogma end zone, or whether it was not touched.
He was in.
It has been
Quick
resolved.
video replay has confirmed that he was in. Video replay confirmed that he was in. That's what I just said.
Video replay has confirmed that Troy Stevenson managed to play the disc in bounds, which has resulted in Dogma playing from their own end zone. Richard Fernando looks up. Big flick huck to Sam Linnett. Aaron Neal goes big, and Sam comes down with it, though. Unlucky for Aaron, and a great catch by Sam. Very important for Dogma, bringing through another point, 7-9 now.
Fun fact, there are 13 of the New Zealand Open teams on this field currently. 10 of them are on the Wildcats team and 3 of them are on the Dogma, my bad.
Dogma and the Credo shit.
That's what I started that conversation with.
Eric Richards for Dogma pulling the frisbee now. A little bit of a foot fault, but nobody really minds these days. Palmer picks up, bogus, into Andy Neal, 33. Centres it. Liam with the frisbee. Liam is a strong thrower. On to Lachlan Robertson, who's ripping up the downfield against David Sanders. Breakthrough to Troy Stevenson. Troy throws a hammer to an open Matt Richardson, who gets the point.
Fun fact about Matt Richardson.
Lachlan signalling that to everybody in the crowd and everybody watching the live footage.
Fun fact about Matt Richardson, at the U23 Worlds just been in London, he was the MVP of the tournament. Sadly, there is no award for that, but he did score the most points and the most assists of any player at that entire tournament. And he was also Spirit Captain, so that shows you that you can be very well-spirited and a very good player. Other comment that might be worth mentioning is that this game is for a bid to go to Cincinnati. So the first team, the team who wins this game, will guarantee themselves a bid to go to Cincinnati in America for Worlds next year. World Club Champs for the Open team. Also, would be quite good to mention was about 4 months ago there was the Mixed Nationals, and the team that won the Mixed Nationals was Marvelous DC, and they will also be attending Cincinnati.
The pulls come up from number 55, Aaron Neal. Long float, great pull. Joe receiving. Joe looks up, quick movement, centered back into Joe. Mike Connolly on the mark, tightens up, low hands. Dogma's having a bit of difficulty getting that downfield connection, with the handlers having to live with it for longer and longer. Some jinky cuts. Joe Panay again, controlling this game for Dogma, being the solid rocks that they need. Up the line to Joe. Joe looks, he puts it. But it's just got a bit too much steam for Sam, who can't keep up. This turn comes with the score at 7-10. If Wildcats can score here, putting them in that double-digit 11-7 category, starting to lead away the game.
No, because zero's not a digit.
That's right. Zero is a placeholder. Lachlan Robertson walking up the disc. Lee Yole back in handling position.
We got Flounder. Oh, big
With a
put.
quick long put. Double coverage. And he goes big. He's come down with it. Howard Story with a...
So I think
there's
an
a
out
call
there.
on the field that he is out of bounds. And it is being disputed by the sideline on both sides, players on the field from both sides. And it's really going to come down to integrity and spirit of the game as to how they resolve this one.
So the disc is going back. We've got an instant. Yeah.
The disc has gone
so-
back to Lachlan Robertson.
Sam!
Yeah, okay. If we're not sure.
The disc has gone back contested. We'll have to leave it to the online crowd to review the film footage later whether it was a good call or a bad call. There was a call made. Lachlan Robertson with the disc. Big centre swing to Matt Dole. Matt Dole holds. Mike Connolly gets free. Mike Connolly living with it. Holding that stall count. Centres the disc to Hamish Thornton, or Hambone, as some people affectionately know him as.
So back to Lockie there. Nice swing pass out to Lee. Lockie's getting every second disc here.
Pit called on the field. Disc is staying with Matt Dole. Pick was from Mike Connolly through, but did not affect the play. It should be noted that the Wildcats are living with the disc very well with strong forward progression. Let's hope they can keep the disc alive until they get across that end zone line. The defensive pressure from Dogma is excellent as well. Really trying to contain them. They're not finding any space in the deep. Lachlan Robertson back with the disc. Little Lockie as he used to be known. Howard with the frisbee.
Oh,
Bit too
layout
much
there.
steam on it for Lee Yo. It's gone out of bounds. And Dogma has a chance at the break.
So fun fact about Lachlan Robertson, his actual name is Donald. But everyone affectionately knows him by
Joe
Lockie.
Panaya on the line. Looking to get it back. Centres it. Joe again in the middle. Joe's working hard for Dogma. He's trying to create space. Good movement from Flounder to get there. In the middle, centred. Trying to connect with the downfield, but Dogma's struggling. Richard Fernando on the line. Strong mark from Matt Dole.
So Joe's been working hard this whole
Disc
tournament.
floats, and Hamish Thornton brings it down. Leo centred disc. Fast break opportunity here, but they've retained possession. They've slowed it down. Aaron Neal off to Matt Dole, and Wildcats takes a breather to reset their offense. Lachlan Robertson, strong cut out of the middle, looking down the line, and Howard finishes the point with a nice buttery float spike.
So we've got the score sitting at 11-7 to the Wildcats now. Wind staying about the same. It's cooled down a little bit more cloud cover, so hopefully the heavens won't open for the women's game.
The score is 7-11. The Wildcats seem to be slowly sneaking away this final after a very heavily contested first half. Hopefully Dogma can find more in their tank to really push them out to the edge of this game. On the Dogma line receiving, we've got Simon Goss. We've got the return of Phil Rennick after his injury, Toby Sutherland, Richard Fernando, Tom Fraser, David Sanders, and Spider. Aaron Neal with the pull.
So we've got Mark's come back into the commentary box.
Aaron Neal,
Throw around a
high
few
float.
sledges.
That just
There
got
it
a
is.
lot of time on it. But it looks to have got a bit too much loft and has gone out of bounds. Brick called by Toby Sutherland.
Afternoon, Rich.
G'day, welcome back, Mark.
It's good to be back. Have I missed anything?
Oh, pretty well contested game. Some big calls, some big jumps, some big skies.
I'd like to thank Andy for some solid commentary with you earlier on. It's fantastic work.
He's all right, I guess. Sometimes he gets confused by the bigger words from the smaller words, but we love him all the same.
Leo checking in. Sutherland faking the forehand. Forces straight up. Starting cutters have been looked off, and they've just both gone deep for Dogma. Fernando under pressure on the forehand side. Very strong miscue there. Has handed it straight to Leo. Oh! Can you believe it? T. Frey cleaning
Tom
up the
Fraser.
joss. That man has some extra joss in those veins right now, I believe.
And premium calves. He has given it a run
Toby
for his
Sutherland.
money. Toby
we really
Sutherland.
were hoping that he was going to
another
send it, but he
miscue.
pulls it. I so should have sent that. Veteran call from the new player of the Wildcats, Aaron Neal, calls a timeout. It's his rookie year, I hear.
What an exciting set of plays just in this point alone. Two strong miscues and an extremely great bid and D from Tom Fraser. Full horizontal with a float.
That really was amazing play.
Mate, that kid's got jumps. He looks like Harry Potter on a great day when he wears his glasses.
Yeah.
I'd say that was magical.
Yeah, I think some people out in the field right now are wanting to really up the tempo of the game, and and there's a little bit of resistance from their teammates there because both teams not connecting fully, and other teams cleaning up in such spectacular fashion.
Yeah, sometimes going faster doesn't necessarily mean doing it better. So I think both teams need to just stay cool, calm, and collected as they get into the final phase of this game.
20 minutes to go for soft cap. Just for the family members that might just be tuning in, the actual rules for this are once the time cap has gone, so 20 minutes from now, we will need to finish that point, and then whoever has the highest score, we will add one extra point to that, and then both teams will be playing to that score goal. So whoever gets there wins the game, wins the championship, wins the bid to the next World Ultimate Club Championships held in Cincinnati, USA in 2018.
Now we're just about to get back from our timeout called by Aaron Neal, 55. We've got a 3-4 setup in a horizontal fashion for the Wildcats with Aaron Neal, Leo, and possibly the better Frisbee player, 33, Andy Neal, sharing that handling responsibility.
Otherwise known as Daddy Neal.
Daddy Neal.
He is the father now.
Recent father.
Yeah. Gorgeous little baby.
No, like born in January.
Yeah, a little while ago. Dunno. Let's not talk about it.
Disc is in.
Recorded television.
Aaron looking, can't find connections. Leo has a strong line cut,
Oh, that
gets
was a
free
great cut.
easily.
Nando really wasn't expecting that strength.
Explosive strength from Leo. Truly characteristic.
Wildcats really identifying.
But he's looking,
empty
he's
space.
in trouble. And he's got his big friend Troy Stevenson who can help him out. No matter what scraps Leo puts up, Troy's happy to gobble him down.
He nommed that out of nowhere. I was expecting some good pressure. Well, they did have some good pressure, but when you've got someone who's a 6'9" behemoth of a man standing static between a whole bunch of other players, chances are pretty good that you're going to score. Thankfully, he's quite a skilled player as well, and he's a nice guy, so we can't
As
hold
you
it against
see
him.
Troy Stevenson coming off and giving Leo that hug, getting a high five from his coach to celebrate, saving his ass.
That relationship there between Troy Stevenson and Leo developed in London in the U24 trademark campaign back in 2015, where Troy Stevenson had the disc, and against Team USA in the quarterfinals in the Open Division, Lee at the top of his lungs screams, "Troy, Troy, 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 Troy," because he was so open. Troy could have put it anywhere in the end zone to score that point. Sadly, he didn't identify it in time.
Did he? No, he did not identify it. And it's just that kind of pressure that builds in those quarterfinal games. The pressure here in New Zealand is just as immense for this final. So both teams are holding up particularly well under that. Hands are up, and disc is coming out of Lachlan Robertson.
That's good, clean
Huge
and
backhand pull. That's going deep into the end zone,
Bogus.
floating well.
Gunning down
That
onto
is a
the
fantastic pull.
defense. First pass is open. Second pass is shut down.
They're in a dangerous position here. Sam Linart's
cleaning up a very low throw.
with a call on the field.
Matt Dole is calling down on that play. Commentary box before
There was ground contact during the catching motion, and whether he had caught it before the disc was actually on the ground was that.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't get down to that sort of semantics. Replay shows that may have been down.
But
Sam
there's a
is happy with
contested call.
that observation.
But a
Matt Dole.
contested call.
Oh, contested call.
It's part of the joy of Frisbee and running to that spirit of the game. So long as the players on the field are happy with any call, that can move on. Disc is back in. Lachlan Robertson on the mark. Hard pressure. Joe Panaya in trouble. They're in Callaghan territory, deep in their own end zone. They can't seem to connect with the downfield, but Eric Richards gets him out of trouble, and a big block from Lockie.
Big back block.
Lockie fakes him out.
Once, not twice.
A little bit of a piece, but Angus Hines on the corner.
Very safe hands.
Looking. Lockie resets. And holds.
Now. He's controlling.
He's going to look for a low release flick. Sending it back to Dole. Taking their time. Wildcats are breathing. And that's showing great composure in the red zone.
Not a lot of aggression there on the defense. They're looking as if they're just sort of holding space at the moment. High release flick to the break side. To Bogey again. Oh! Travel called. Steps back. Looks for Andy Neal. Who's open? Daddy Neal.
That was
brings it home.
great composure from the Wildcats, taking their time and not forcing it in. Composure around the end zone is particularly important as the scores start climbing.
Score is 12-7. 13-7.
Fun fact for everyone at home, Mark's a teacher, but numbers aren't exactly his strong point.
And on that note, I'll happily pass on the commentary mic to Hamish Gibson.
And Andrew Neal's going to take over for me.
And I'm hopefully going to give Rich a bit of a bash.
And we're back, and Aaron AAE Ron Neal has disc for the pool.
So sorry about that, guys. We weren't able to get Andrew Neal. He's actually busy playing a game right at this
The
moment.
current problem with the Vic Wildcats line is they only have 6 players on the field. They probably will need another player to continue to play this game. Oh, look, they've noticed Andy Neal's on the field.
Ah, there he is. Looking around for him everywhere. So, fun fact about Mark also, yes, he's a teacher, but he's on his, he's taking a sabbatical, so he's decided to go back to university, which he still doesn't know how to count. But yeah, and he's getting married on the 22nd of April too. No. I said Mark.
This comes down to Tom Fraser. He's looking around. He's got no options. Wildcats have got down here very quickly. Disc is now to Dave Sanders.
So Dave's looking for the flick.
Gets it off to Phil Rennick.
Back to Dave Sanders, off to Joe. Joe's been quite pivotal in the Dogma squad, getting them into the final that you see today.
Tom Fraser back to Joe Panaya. Joe Panaya down to Nando. Nando's pump fake, massive huck.
Big
down
shot.
to Flounder, and
So Goss is there. Oh, he could have laid out for that, but I think he's just pulling up a little bit due to an injury on the shoulder that he sustained earlier today.
we do also have to remember that this is the last game of a 3-day tournament that these boys have been running all day, last 3 days. So, maybe, Friday Gossie would have got it.
Yeah, I think Friday, even yesterday, I think Gossie would have got it. He's a tough nut, he is. But it's gone up again.
Aaron Neal, massive huck down to Mike Connolly. Mike Connolly, easy catch. Nice, easy chest high catch.
So
Leads the pass out to Leo.
Oh.
Leo takes a big jump over Tom Fraser.
T. Frey putting some good pressure on that disc. Just can't really pull it off, but you can't fault him for trying.
And that was another one of the Open Worlds team player friend matchups. So it's good to see they're still high-fiving at the end of it.
So the score's now 14-7 to Wildcats.
Match point to Wildcats.
So Dogma are carrying a few injuries at the moment, just sustained over the last couple of days. Tom Fraser has got an elbow that he hyperextended. Sam Lenartz has got a bit of a twisted ankle. Richard Fernando also twisted ankle. So twisted ankles tend to happen quite a bit in the sport of ultimate.
I'm not going to play. I'm going to go there. That's all I'm going to do.
So the next game we have after this is the women's final. So we've got Christchurch Chicks versus Capital Punishment from Wellington.
But back to this game, we've got Aaron Neal with the disc. He's going to put up a massive huck in a second for our pull. Next to him is Matt Dole, Liam Haberfield, Carl Ho. Who was that? Nick Palmer?
Yep, there's Nick Palmer.
Ryan Sheridan and Daniel Aldridge.
So a big chase down there. Match point, so there's going to be a lot of energy at this point. So Flounder's got the disc. Looks, sounds like Wildcats are going for
Nando puts a big
transition zone.
floaty huck up. There's Aaron
Got
Neal,
Tallman,
Justin, and Joe Panay underneath it. Aaron Neal makes a massive grab. Aaron swings it off to Calho. Calho looks to Liam Haberfield. Liam Haberfield's looking long to Matt Dole. No, didn't go. Just a big pump fake. Back to Aaron Neal. Aaron Neal. Nice easy swing to Nick Palmer. Ooh, Palmer, big up huck.
Dave Sanders matching up against Liam Haberfield. And that
Liam
is
Haberfield
game
brings it
point.
down.
That was a well-fought game from both teams. Wildcats just far too clinical at the end of the day.
Welcome to Cincinnati, Vic Wildcats.
So Wildcats definitely earning the win today. Just with all the training and everything they've done over the past few years. And they've built up their club to it's quite respectful 69 players for New Zealand.
Fantastic final there from both sides. Wildcats showing their class.
So this is Mark back in the commentary box. He likes to go away and come back when he sees fit.
I'd just like to thank Rich, Andy, Hamish, a guy called Chris Barker who 3 words earlier for commentating. Also, the cameraman. Hey. Quick little hi from everyone. Is that? Yes, it's Ulti TV. His name's Mike. Yes, extra big thank you to him. It's great when he's here.